Oh, same thing every time. I am on a mission to get my Make 18 complete. So far, I have made 8. I have 3 cut out ready to be sewn up, and they're TNTs, so that will be a very quick project. I've got 3 that I want to change the base patterns on, because as much as I think the ideas are great, they are definitely not something that I have enough time to accomplish this year, and I have a different plan for that either slot or fabric. And then there's 2 drafting projects, one of which is going to be super easy because I've done most of the hard work already, and in fact this other one is going to be pretty easy as well because I've done all of the work for the sloper and I know exactly what I want to make of it. So theoretically I can do this. Now it is, when I'm filming this, the 12th of November, and I am doing my November plans, and you guys are seeing this next week. So fingers crossed by the time you're seeing this, I will have made up some of the stuff that's already cut out and ticked more things off of these boxes, and I will have made a start on some of these other projects that I would like to get to. But I do have some fabrics to show you today because there are, as I say, some ones that I would like to switch out and change up for the fabrics that I planned on earlier this year. One of the dresses that I wanted to make was the 7319, and I didn't have a fabric in mind for that one. And when I was going through my de-stash pile, I came across this viscose jersey that I got from the textile centre years ago. Now I put this in the de-stash pile because it's viscose jersey with a very rigid print on it. This is something that absolutely terrified me. The idea of pattern matching this over any kind of a garment and having it look polished and perfected rather than a slightly dodgy mess filled me with absolute dread, and I was just like, yep, no, somebody else can have that issue, because it wasn't that I didn't love the colour or the type of fabric, it was literally the idea of having to use this one. Now the 7319 has gathered bias cut sections over the front, which means that I don't have to be too finicky about cutting this out perfectly because they're also gathered, so there is some wiggle room in there. And the skirt, the way that I've drafted the skirt, because I have changed it up quite a lot, as you can see in the sew along, which is listed up here and also in the description down below, has very dense gathers at the center front as well, so there's a little bit of wiggle room for making sure that these are perfectly dead on centered at the front. It will, if they're slightly off on the bottom of the skirt, it's going to show, but it's not like I've got to match up lines from bodice to skirt, as it were, and the bias cut ruched pieces that go over the top will cover that. So yeah, I am going to attempt to do the 7319 with this. I will need to be very careful about cutting out the sleeves so that they have the stripes or the crosses or the squares. I'll have to be careful with the sleeves, making sure that the pattern is running straight and on grain down the sleeves, but everything else has a bit of wiggle room in there, and I love this fabric. Like I say, the print, the colour and the texture of it are absolutely gorgeous. I was just scared, but I think the 7319 is going to be a perfect combination with this one, and it's a dress that I can make up in a day, which is awesome because it means that it will be one more ticked off on my essentials Make 9, and it will also be a dress that I absolutely love in a fabric that I can wear. And I do very much enjoy wearing my jersey dresses at this time of year because secret pajamas. So other than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects that I've got cut out over there, this will be number 11 that I'd like to get done this month. Some of those are going to be much quicker. One of them is going to be Can I Make a Dragon in a Day project as well, but you'll see that video coming up. So yeah, that will also, like I say, be the 7th thing off of my essentials Make 9. The 8th and 9th items, I've just got a placeholder pattern for the t-shirt that I want to kind of try. I've already done the hard work for this. I have traced off my gable top and added in a kind of like crew neckline and collar to that t-shirt because I love the shape of the body and the sleeves on that one, but the boat neckline doesn't allow for the, or probably wouldn't have allowed for the changes that I want to make to it. I want to make something very much like this inspiration picture, again inspired by Bianca from The Closet Historian. She's made a bunch of these and they look fabulous. I really like the ruched look, as you can tell from the 7319, so I've done most of the hard work for that t-shirt pattern, and like I say, this pattern image that you can see is just a placeholder. So yeah, that's going to be a day project because I will need to make up one from the base pattern just to make sure that I have got the neckline and the shoulders right before I start fiddling around and adding volume in there, and then can't work out what the problem is if there is a problem. Once I've made that up, I can then start adding in all of the slash and spread and gathering that I want to feature on that t-shirt and get that made up, and then fingers crossed that one works perfectly the first time, fingers crossed. If not, then I should have enough time in one day to make a few alterations and try a third t-shirt. I think I can be successful at this project. I, as I say, have a base that works really well for me and fits me really well already, so I can't see why that isn't doable, especially as it's a knit project, which means it's going to be really quick. And again, if I perfect this, you guys will probably get sick of it because I will cut out a bunch of them because I love the look of it and can see myself wearing them quite a lot, so yeah, you'll probably get sick of it. The last one on the Essentials Make 9 is a pair of leggings, and I have decided that I am going to pivot and not make leggings this year. My shape is fluctuating wildly, and I bought myself a pair of ready-to-wear leggings, and whilst I love them as comfies to be slouchy around the house in, I do not want to be seen out of the house in them. And the fabrics that I have are wet leather type look jerseys that I got from Girl Charlie ages ago, so obviously I can't replace them anymore, and I don't want to make the wrong thing with them, and they would also make a fabulous dress combined together. I have a burgundy and a black. I have 2 meters of each, so perfect for leggings if I liked leggings, but also would look really cool as a dress. So I don't want to waste that fabric, and I haven't got another fabric in my stash that I think would be suitable for leggings, and I don't want to buy anything else. So I'm going to swap the leggings out for another pair of the joggers. I have made my brown or tan pair earlier this year, and I love them and I wear them frequently. I bought the Seafoam Ponte to make another pair from, so that is going to be put into place of the leggings. If I get those 3 things done, all of which are jersey projects and really quick, then my Essential Make 9 will be complete. Moving over to the Indulgent Make 9, I've got the 8577 and the 9345 shirt cut out of the rose print fabric. It's also my ongoing zero waste project, which is going to take me longer to film than I initially thought, but hopefully should be a really interesting video by the time I'm finished with it. So those 2 are cut out, just need to be made up, and the shirt's going to be really quick. The dress takes me just over a day. The next one is the waistcoat. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have done my sloper and I know the style lines that I want, and the waistcoat, one of the things I love about waistcoats is that they are such small projects and take up a very minute amount of fabric, so theoretically that should be a fairly quick project for me to do. In reality, we will see, but I would like to attempt that before the end of the year. So I'm not saying that this is definitely going to get done in November, because as I say, it's the 12th today, so there's not a lot of November left, or there's 2/3 of November left if I'm looking at it from a glasses half full perspective, but it's definitely something that I think I can do by the end of the year. The next one is the McCalls jacket, the Angela Clayton jacket, and I think that is absolutely beautiful, but I have realised that I do not like jackets with peplums on me. So I'm going to pivot with that fabric. I've got it next to me here, and I'm going to be filming a video a little bit later that's going to go up on Patreon for the Patreon $5 and up tier peeps to vote on. I have 2 different jackets that I could make with this. I think both could be very useful and interesting projects, so I need the Patreon peeps help deciding and narrowing down which one I'm actually going to do. So again, this is going to be part of Coatmas, which will be coming up next month, but it is, fingers crossed, something that I can get done before the end of the year. The next one is the rose print silk that I got from the Gold Hawk Road. I put this fabric in because it went with the kind of roses and green fabrics that I had picked earlier, or picked at first for the Make 9. It is gorgeous, and it is basically representing a evening dress. Now, I've used a So La Di Da Destiny pattern for the grid just to give a pattern on there, but it's not the one that I was going to use. I'm going to be doing a tiered and gathered skirt with some velvet ribbon that I got from the Festival of Quilts earlier this year. You saw that in my Festival of Quilts haul. I was going to make this dress for the Dressmakers Ball, but Mum and I were unable to attend this year, which is really sad, and I've just seen the photos that have been posted from the ball, and I definitely have FOMO. I'm so sad that Mum and I couldn't go this year, but it just wasn't on the cards for us, so I never ended up making that dress, which is really sad because it is going to be a beautiful dress, and it's one that I don't want to rush and power through because I'm not 100% sure what the bodice is going to look like, even though I at 100% can envision what the skirt's going to look like. So it's something that I want to play around with, and I do have a gala dinner coming up next year, so it's going to be my gala dinner dress, which means that I am swapping that fabric out for this fabric, which is a quilting cotton, Michael Miller quilting cotton, that I've I've had in my stash for absolutely ages. So it's gold dots on a French navy background. It's a really beautiful background. Like I say, it's a quilting cotton and I have 5 meters of it. I'm making a video at the moment about different ways of using a border print. I'm wearing one of those dresses now. I've got 4 different methods in that video at the moment, but I want to add in one more, and it's what I always intended to do with this fabric. Even though it's a quilting cotton, I think it's still going to make an absolutely beautiful Christmas dinner dress. I think I'm going to be using the Butterick 6380 bodice with a few tweaks, the little cap sleeves that I use from the Leggings pattern, and I might lower the neckline a little bit because I do like a cleavage-tastic dress, especially for evening dresses. So yeah, I want to make this one up, and it's a pattern and combination that I have made loads of times before, so I know it fits me. There's a few tweaks that I want to make. I have enough fabric to go to town with the skirt, and the skirt is going to be the surprise and hopefully an interesting way of using a border print. So this fabric is replacing the rose print silk, and that will get used next year. I want to get this done by the end of November because I have some parties coming up in December that I would like to wear it to. As we're going across the list, the next one I am wearing, I finished it in October and I absolutely love how this has turned out, and I'm so glad I put it on my Make 9 because I always knew what I wanted this one to be, but Make 9 gave me the impetus to actually like pull it out and get it done rather than doing kind of like either new patterns, which I appreciate I don't do often, or the new in fabrics, because this is a fabric that's been in the stash for quite a while. So absolutely over the moon with how this one has turned out. I love it. Next up is my goldfish dress with the remnants of the fabric that I had from making my shirt dress. I have managed to cut out the 5951 and some sleeves from the 9006. I am not sure yet if I am going to put cap sleeves on the 5951, if I'm going to put the sleeves that I've cut out on the 5951, or if I'm going to use the 9006 sleeves to put onto the shirt dress that I've already made. It's going to be a really big alteration. I don't know if I want to do that, but whatever I end up doing, I have got the dress cut out, and it's a really quick one-day make, so that is something that will definitely get done by the end of November, if not by the end of the year. And then the final one that I want to talk about today is the last pair of fabrics and pattern that you can see, and it's this Simplicity vintage pattern 5499. I love this. I have a pair of shoes that goes so well with this combination of fabrics. This is from the Textile Centre and it's just a plain viscose, and then this is an absolutely beautiful floral viscose that the very lovely Anna bought me. There's 2 meters of this, which is why I'm pairing it with this one, and I want to attempt this pattern. I want to make some changes to it because as gorgeous as this is, I do think that it will suit me better with slightly more floofy sleeves and also a much longer skirt. I'm kind of terrified about this one. This is going to be the big project for the month, and I do have a couple of other big projects that are already cut out but need to be finished, so this is going to be the one that is going to be the real struggle to get finished before the end of the year, and I really hope I can do it because I think it's absolutely gorgeous and I think it's going to look really cool. But you guys will have to let me know what you think in the description down below. Am I biting off way more than I can chew given the date and the amount of things that I want to make, or do you think it's possible because I'm doing T&Ts, knit projects, and the scary ones are on the kind of like one and done side, and I've only got one super scary one in there? I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one here.